Hello. All right, this is the first time we're doing this on YouTube. I'm hoping it's working. Figuring it all out as I go. Let's see. Oh, there's two people. Okay, so this is really fun. It says there's two people watching. This is great. There is a chat on here, so please let me know that you're here. Please use the chat box. I'm so excited because I actually got my Nikon DSLR camera to be doing this, so like the quality of the video is hopefully way better than what, just my regular MacBook camera. Oh my God, this is so awesome. So welcome to episode 15 of Coffee in Quarantine, which is crazy that we've been doing this for 3 weeks already, but here we are, and I'm so grateful that this is just happening. I'm just happy that I finally got it together and decided to do this live all the time because I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. So as always, let me know you're here. Candy, hi. Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh my God. Okay, so I want to start today off by celebrating quarantine wins. This is going to be our new Monday segment. To start off the day is, what are your quarantine wins? So share with me. Let me know. I'm going to, as you guys are typing, I am going to share this all over Facebook so that people know to head over to YouTube to watch this, because it's just so cool. And one day I'll hopefully have someone sharing this for me, or it'll be on like Netflix or TV or something like that. That would be cool too. But yeah, just what an awesome, how cool that we could set all of this up. So share with me your quarantine wins and let me know what's going on. Let's see, who else can we share this to? Literally so many groups. Let's see, where's the sweetheart? Let's see. Oh, already did it. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Obviously, this is, like I said, the first time we're doing this on YouTube, and I was able to get, my quarantine win is that I was able to get my DSLR camera to actually stream to YouTube and to my computer, which, if you have been in my circle for any amount of time, specifically if you live with me, this has been something I've been trying to do for a long time, but it just never, I bought every wire under the sun. I got everything possible to try to make this work as seamlessly as possible, and it just never did. And so I'm really excited that it worked. I started it at 10 o'clock. I was like, I'm just going to give it a try. I'm just going to see if the universe and the magic of everything wants this to happen today. And it did. So I'm super, super grateful. Candy said, quarantine wins. My two newest clients closed their first 6-month clients within a week of working with me. Candy, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. And I know you. You were on the show last week. You were my coach. And you got me a lot of confidence and courage to go after those things in my business last year. So thank you, and thank you for being here and supporting. So if you're just joining, quarantine wins is what we're sharing in the chat box right now. So feel encouraged to tell us what you're feeling good about this week. What happened last week that was a quarantine win. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to do an oracle reading today. I had 3 decks picked out. Well, I guess they picked us. But I've got 3 decks picked out here for us to get a reading for the week and see kind of what's going on. But something I wanted to share with you guys first is, do you guys remember last Monday we did resin art together? And this was one of the, it's got some Palo Santo ash in it. But this was one of the things that I created, and I think I maybe showed it to you last week, but those are dried rose petals in there, and it's really awesome because I'm using it as a Palo Santo. It's technically an ashtray for cigarettes, but whatever. It even has the little holder right there. What's awesome is one of my students gave me a gift after graduation, and she included these Palo Santo sticks. and it fits perfectly in there. Well, I can't, there, it fits so perfectly. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So this has become my new altar Palo Santo tray, and I light the Palo Santo, which I'm going to do right now. And then it sits so beautifully in there. And so thank you, Shuli, for the beautiful gift. She also sent me this selenite heart, which is actually sitting on the other altar piece I made, which is, again, the same rose. It's infused with Reiki energy and sound. But it's this little tray, and this has become a crystal holder for me. So I'm just really excited. That's another quarantine win. So we'll light some Palo Santo. Yeah, I'm just really happy and excited today that this whole camera setup's working. It's fantastic. It's amazing. So we've also got a killer lineup for the rest of this week. Today, like I said, we're doing Oracle tarot readings, and then tomorrow we're going to do Q&A questions like we did, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but it's going to be, I have these decks that are just questions. As a coach, I ask a lot of questions. I'm very curious about things. And so tomorrow is going to be kind of this live Q&A of me pulling questions, but also if you guys have any questions for me that you want me to answer, I also am going to be doing that. So you can definitely email me at sharon@the-soulstylist.com with any questions you want me to answer live. I'm excited for that. I think that'd be really cool. And here's some Palo Santo for everyone. We all could use a little uplifting energy, I'm sure. All right, cool. And then Wednesday, we're going to have Cassandra Arias on. She is an herbalist and a medicine maker, and she's going to be talking to us about how we can boost up our immune system, how to stay healthy using herbal remedies and things like that. On Thursday, we have the amazing Andrew Seifrith. He's a musician. He's an artist, like an incredible artist. He uses like Fibonacci's spiral and equation and sacred geometry, and it's so cool. And then on Friday, we're going to have Olivia Peterson on, and she is just a magical being of musical light, and she also makes some really great jewelry. So she's going to be telling us all about that on Friday. But I don't know. Candy asked me what my human design is. That's a great question. I have no idea what my human design is. So post me a link. Post me a link of where I can find out the human design, and we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Because I think that would be really cool. So, what's happening here? Okay. All right. Well, hopefully some more people jump on here. I know it's going to be kind of a transition moving over to YouTube from Facebook Live, but the intention is to grow and reach more people, which, you know, Facebook has a limited capacity. So that's why we're shifting over here. But let's start off with today's reading. So these are Sacred Geometry cards. They are the Sacred Geometry Activations deck, which I love this deck. And it's really powerful. And right now it's really excited. It's happy because this deck has actually been sleeping for a little while. It's been, I believe that our objects, our sacred items and such, have times where they're really energetic and want to be experienced. And then I believe that there are also times when they want to be left alone and have some solitude time to themselves. And so I rework my altar often when she wants it, when I want it. It's a co-creation and collaboration for sure. And it's the same thing with altar items. So this deck has actually been away, wrapped up in a nice little scarf and put into a cabinet or my drawer over here. And just the other day on the full moon, it was like, take me out. And I was like, all right, you're coming out again. And she's been very active ever since. But let's lean into a little bit of sacred geometry, sacred activation. And let's just close our eyes and allow yourself to drop in. Allow yourself to drop into the moment, into your breath. And this card, whatever comes out, this is the collective conscious. This is the kind of state of being that we're in right now. But also it's offering us something to learn. There's something that we're not seeing. when we're so caught up in it. So there's a lesson in what will appear. And it'll appear different to whoever's receiving it based on what reality we're living in, based on what circumstances we're in, because while the transpersonal experience right now is that we're in this world of crisis and pandemic and, lockdown and quarantine, that looks different for everyone. That looks different for every single person. Even if you live in the same house with someone, the experience is going to be different. And yet we are all experiencing this on a collective level. And so there is an experience that we share. So, ooh, perfect. So the card that came up, and hopefully this is clear because I don't want to touch the focus of the camera. But this is the sacral chakra, and you can see the energy of it, and I'll post a picture of it later in the comments. But sacral chakra, it says the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and desire in our lives. So I see that it's not completely focused, but I'll post a picture. These cards are really beautiful to meditate on. But our sacral chakra is located just below the belly button. It's our womb space. It's our creation space. It's our space of emotions, the ebb and flow of life, the ability for us to ride the waves of what's going on. And so there's more than one experience being had even within the sacral chakra. For some people, it is that they're still in and out of the emotions of what's going on. They're very much still activated by the experience that's happening, and their emotional body is what is being triggered right now. And so they're very much living out of their emotional body. They are experiencing what's happening very intensely through their emotions, which is valid. That's absolutely something that we will all go through and probably go through every day. And there's a lot of people who don't have the tools and the coping mechanisms to be able to ride the waves of their emotions without being able to become the observer and take a seat back. And so if you're in that space where you find that your emotions are constantly very high because of what's happening in the world, and that you're finding yourself very sad, depressed, lethargic, or even, just anxious, like high anxiety, having all of this energy living within you, tap into this womb. My cats. Tap into the womb space, and that has nothing to do with male, female. We all have the sacral chakra right beneath our belly button, and tap into there and ask, what are these emotions here to show me? What are they asking me to learn? And let yourself become more in tune with your body, because we hold our emotions, we hold our experiences in our physical bodies. And so what's happening is when our emotions are coming up and really taking center stage, it's hard for us to see everything else that's going on. So notice your emotional body, notice where you're at in your emotions, notice if your emotions are taking the lead in your life, and see how you can take a step back to become the observer in that way, so that you can get more of a handle and more of a control on your day-to-day life. On the other side, this is also a card of creation. Our womb space is where our watery organs are. It's where our reproductive organs are. It's about new life. It's about taking those emotions, channeling them into something new. And it doesn't even have to be new, just channeling them into some kind of an outward expression. So using the pent up energy, the emotion that's in your body, to channel it into something. And that can be writing, that can be taking a bath, that can be playing an instrument, could be starting a live TV channel on YouTube and Facebook. It could be all of these different things. It's going to be unique to each individual person. But collectively, we're being asked to tune into our sacral chakra, which is something in modern day society that has really been cut off from us. And we can see that in the cutting of funds from art and music programs across the country in schools. We can see that in the mindset that we are meant to be, channeling our energy into career and making money, and like the capitalist mindset that if you're not making money, you're wasting time. And we're being asked during, the Cosmic Collective is being invited back into this space of creation, into this space of bringing about newness. And looking at what's going on, you can say, well, oh, well, I can't wait to get back to normal, but we're never going to go back to that normal because people's beings have been shifted. Seeds are being planted now for what's going to happen in the next 6 to 8 to 9 months, and things are never going to go back to the way they were. So this is even being a call to action for us to step into this new normal that we're creating, this new way of being. And it's not going to be that way for anyone. I know plenty of people who are like, whatever, new normal, I'm just going to go back to work and go about my life, and that's great. The new normal is not going to be for you. There are people out there now who are recognizing, hey, I can get my work done in 4 hours, not 8, and I'm not going to go back to work 8 hours a day when I can get the work done in 4. I want more time with my family. I want more time with my kids. And so just seeds are being planted right now. And so it's all about the creation process. And whenever there's newness, whenever there's creation, there is resistance. And honoring that resistance is going to be a really big part of this, because whenever we do something that challenges our normal, whenever we do something that challenges our comfortable way of life, our comfortable way of being, this like little voice in our head and this energy bubbles up that says, no, don't do that. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what, you can't plan for what would happen on the other side. It's better off to just not do it. It's better off to just do what you've always done rather than doing and trying something new. And that is the most detrimental resistance talk that we could buy into, because none of it's true. The fact is that this is so cliche, you guys, but everything you want is on the other side of that resistance and that fear. There's no way for us to plan. Like, none of us planned for this pandemic. None of us planned to be quarantining and staying at home, and yet we're doing it, and we're surviving, and we're adapting, and some people are thriving in it. And it's an opportunity for us to lean into that uncertainty now. We're being shown uncertainty. It's being served to us. And now we have the opportunity to intentionally use this uncertainty to create something that we really, really want in life. So do the thing that you're too afraid to do. Take the time to channel that anxious energy that you're feeling, that sad energy that you're feeling, riding the waves, whatever it is, and channel it into something. Turn off the TV if you can, put on some music, right? Like, music, that's another access point of the sacral chakra is music. It just helps us to flow. It helps us to create. It helps us to continue on. Because music is flowing. That is what it is. And so there's definitely, there's creation in this. There's resistance in this. But that's what, if you think of the ebbs and flows, like the water pulls back and then it comes crushing over the resistance of gravity. And that is what we're being asked to do, is to just continue meeting that resistance, overcoming that resistance, recognizing that uncertainty is in everything. Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. And the more we can get comfortable with that impermanence and enter into that ebb and flow of life, that ebb and flow of creation, that ebb and flow of day-to-day activity, the more peace and calm we're actually going to feel in our heart. It's just, we have to be willing to move past that moment of resistance, and multiple moments of resistance. But there's so much beauty on the other side. You'll release a lot of tension by allowing yourself to go with the flow. So that is the collective transpersonal reading for the day. And now I need water and coffee, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to drink coffee. My M&M cup. I think maybe, I don't remember. Lizzie House, did you give this to me? Maybe, but okay. So that is our transpersonal reading for the collective today. Sacral chakra, get into your womb space, get into your creation space, let yourself really feel the ebbs and flows of your emotion, and use that energy to channel into something like taking a bath, writing a book, or writing a poem, like whatever it is. Oh, well, these cards absolutely just popped out, so we're gonna keep going. So this is the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck, one of my favorite decks in the world. She teaches me so much. And these are the cards, these are the gifts. These are the gifts that we're going to receive when we are willing to move past that resistance, when we are willing to tap into our emotional body, to that sacral chakra energy. What we're going to find in that space is gratitude and illumination. So let's start with gratitude. So pretty. I'll find a way to focus these photos so that you can see them, and I'll post them in the comments after. But gratitude. So gratitude is actually both something we receive and something that we give. And the more we give gratitude, the more we receive gratitude, and the more we receive things to be grateful for. So gratitude is a way of being. I know a lot of people, and I'll take that back. It's not even that a lot of people think it. It's just, gratitude is a concept or an idea that we have to sit and be thankful for something, or we have to, it's important to speak it out, of course. But gratitude is also just a state of being. It's a place within yourself that you decide you want your energy to emanate from. It's a mindset. It's a decision that you can make in a moment. And gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. It's next to love, I believe. And literally, I'm talking about like frequency vibrations. And so gratitude, when we consciously choose to step into gratitude, when we consciously say and wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to be grateful for my breath. Today I'm grateful that I have a house over my head, that I have food to eat. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends. You can feel in your body your heart opening. So there's this moment where you can drop into your body and feel the expansion of your heart. And in that space, really, this sends out that frequency, which then returns and comes back. And it's important to recognize that this space is something that we can call upon at any moment, because it's easy for us to fall into fear. It's easy for us to fall into despair or anger or more of the less than wonderful emotions that we feel. And that's normal because we're human beings. We're meant to feel those things. And at the same time, after we process that emotion, that less than awesome emotion that we're feeling, we can take a moment to say, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful to know how it felt in my body. I'm grateful to know that I can choose differently. I'm grateful to know that I can move on in a different direction. And so gratitude gives us that opportunity. And it's just this heart opening feeling. Like gratitude is a feeling that you can evoke out of yourself too. And so with gratitude, the more we express, the more we put ourselves out there via whatever our personal self-expression is, the more gratitude we feel, because what's happening is we're releasing space within the body. What we don't realize, or many people don't know, is that we actually hold our experiences in our physical body, be that good experiences, bad experiences, traumas, excitement. All of these emotions are held in our body, and we have to learn how to release them. And again, this comes back to that ebb and flow of life, is if we're always trying to hold everything inside, our body becomes tense, our heart starts to close, it becomes hard to be ourselves and be authentic in the world. So when we tap into that self-expression and we start to lean into, like, I understand that people are going to judge me. I understand that not everyone's going to like me. I understand that I'm afraid. I honor the fact that I have fear around this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And you let yourself and that energy come up and move out of you, you will experience an automatic sense of gratitude. Because again, we can express gratitude and we can say, I'm grateful for my friend who brought me coffee. I'm grateful for my friend who bought me flowers. I'm grateful for my partner who made me dinner, and all of the other things we have to be grateful for. And then when you choose to express yourself, though, when you choose to put your creation out there, and it's not even, when I say out there, I don't mean for like other people to see, I just mean for you to get it out of you. There's this gratitude because that whatever is inside of you, that expression has been given to you by the divine. That was something that you were gifted, and the divine wants us to express ourselves. Mother Nature wants us to express ourselves. That's the cycle of life. It's we receive and we put out, we receive and we put out. And when we stop putting out, when we stop expressing, things get caught up, and that hurts our bodies. And so the minute you start releasing, you're going to feel this overwhelming sense of gratitude just wash over you, because that information, everything you're putting out, has been wanting to get out. And so there's this gratitude piece that you're going to feel when you allow yourself to step into that space of energy release and emotional release. And then the other card that came was illumination, which I think is just so perfect, because that's what happens. Again, like when we're holding all of this information just inside of us and refusing to release it because we're afraid or we're stubborn or all the multiple reasons that we don't do the things that we really want to do, we cut off our third eye, we close our third eye, we close off our mind, we close off our heart from being able to see new information, from being able to see things in a different way, to see different perspectives, to understand different people's experiences, because we get so caught up in our own. And so with expression, with gratitude comes illumination. It comes this opportunity to open your heart and your mind. And with that comes compassion. With that comes love. With that comes the opportunity to make new friends, and so many other things. And so, yeah, it's just this illumination of your heart, illumination of your mind, illumination of your spirit. You'll just see things. There will be new light shed. You will see shadows differently. You will see people differently. You will see experiences differently. And that's what we should want. That's growth. That's change. That's the opportunity for us to start being different in the world, creating the new earth that we want, creating the new life experiences that we want, creating the new societies that we want. We know things weren't working. We know things weren't awesome all the time. So many people suffering for no need. We know that we have the resources and everything we need to create this new experience, but it starts with us. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Again, super cliche, super true. And it's something for us to really lean into, that if we want to see the external world change, if we want to see less hate, less poverty, less all of these things, less hunger, less racism, less all of these things, we have to start by allowing ourselves to express what's happening for us in our experience, tap into our body, tap into the trauma responses that we have, tap into our emotions, so that we can be illuminated, to recognize that we're not our experiences. We're not what has always happened to us. But that comes with, again, the expression. Speaking is expressing, writing is expressing. And there's a lot of tools and a lot of people out there who can support you if you're like, well, I don't know how to do any of that. You know, there are coaches, there are therapists, there are counselors, and there's a ton of free information and free resources out there available to you. Reach out to me if you need support. I'm here for you. But we have to learn to illuminate. We have to allow ourselves to get to the place of illumination where we can start seeing things differently, and that starts with us. That starts with our willingness to continue on, to do things differently, to do our self-work, to change and grow collectively, individually, which lends to a inner social change, and that will lead to a transpersonal change. So it's all about us. It's about us doing our individual work. That's what we're being given right now. It is the opportunity to it's our opportunity to create real change in the world, is to start by going inward and changing ourselves. So who said that? RV, you want to guess my zodiac sign? Yeah, go for it. Guess my zodiac. I'm really curious. Let me know. Hi. Hello, beautiful people. Let me know you're here. Leave me comments, leave me questions. We're doing a collective reading for this week, which has so far been about getting creative, processing our emotions, moving through our emotions, and then allowing gratitude to be our guiding force, letting it wash over us, letting that gratitude become much more of a leading force in our life, which leads to compassion, which leads to love, and also to illumination, and allowing ourselves to recognize new ways of being, patterns, behaviors, and stepping into those with courage to create the change that we want to truly see in the world, because it starts with us on an individual level. So that's where we're at for the collective reading so far. I do have these goddesses who are very happy to be here. Ooh, and my medicine cards just pulled my attention over. They want some love too. So looks like we'll be doing that. But let's take a moment before we go into the next drawing to collectively just take a moment to close our eyes, to ground down for a second. And just close your eyes and connect to your breath. Maybe bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your solar plexus, which is the space just above your belly button. And just begin to breathe and feel into your body and drop into your body. And just notice what happens. Notice what emotions come up. Notice what feelings and sensations come up. And you don't have to try to change them or manipulate them in any way. It's just about being with it. It's that single pointed focus within the body. And calling in creation, calling in gratitude, calling in illumination as we continue on through this week. As we continue on this video, just allowing ourselves to be in the energy that we choose. Okay. So, let's see. Oop. All want your love. Lots of feelings, Sharon. I think someone said that before, Gandhi. Maybe someone did say that before, Gandhi. It's possible. Also, my computer is down here, so I'll know for tomorrow to raise my computer so I can see the comments a little better. I won't have to sneak down. It's all a learning experience, in my opinion. In my experience that I'm having, I'm just learning. Okay, so let us move on. So this, I've used this deck a lot. It's my goddess deck. It is the Sacred Feminine and Divine Deities. So these beautiful cards go back to the ancient Titans of Greek mythology. So this is mostly Greek in here. So I study goddesses, for anyone who doesn't know me and is just learning, but I study goddesses. I study divine sacred feminine traditions and faith. I study women's spirituality and the feminine archetypes of different religions. And that's what I teach women about. And I teach them in the context of, and myself, of the context that we can use these archetypes, that we can learn from these archetypes about ourselves, that we can use the stories that have been put before us as ways to empower ourselves, to uplift ourselves, to transform ourselves. And I have been doing it for about 5 years now, studying and facilitating. And it's who I am at my core. I recognize that that the feminine divine is an access gateway point to a new earth, to a new way of living and being. And so if you're interested in any of that, definitely reach out, because that is my favorite way to teach and what to teach. And so I've got a couple of events coming up, a couple of workshops coming up. Next week we have the new moon in Taurus. That's on Wednesday the 22nd. And then on May 7th, we'll have the full moon in Scorpio. I'll also be facilitating a workshop on sacred spaces and altars and how to cultivate a sacred space within you, how to cultivate just an essence of your spirituality, an essence, an expression of who you are. And you can see behind me, there is a pyramid behind me, and it's got a lot of sacred objects in it, but that's just one small expression of my sacred space, this whole room I'm sitting in. And one day I'll take you on a tour. But okay, let's tap into the goddess and see the message of the divine sacred feminine for today, for this week of April 13th through April 19th. Ooh, Galate. Triangle. So again, sorry if these aren't super clear, but the message of the day today is triangle. And Galate is a goddess, one of the ancient goddesses. And her, I was trying to find, oh well, can't find what I'm looking for, but no big deal. But she is a goddess of the sea. She is a goddess who is in a love triangle with the sea, with the earth, and with herself. So you can think of this as Ariel If that resonates with you, the Little Mermaid, while she's not a mermaid, she's very much someone, a goddess who is stuck between three worlds. And is kind of feeling trapped between three worlds. But she's also a very powerful goddess and a deity, because she has the power to choose at any moment which one she wants to interact with. And so we all have multiple lives that we live. We have personal life, we have work life, we have children, we have our art life, our creative life, we have our friend life. There's all these different spheres that we operate within. And this one says triangle as if there's only three, but I think that in our current circumstance in life, we have a lot more than that. And we have this opportunity to integrate them right now, because our society has tried to keep everything so separate, like work-life balance. I'm sure we've all heard that from someone before. But the fact is there's no such thing as work-life balance. And even the idea of balance is going to be so personal to who you are and the type of life that you live. And so before we dive into integration of how we bring together these different spheres of life that we live in, we have to understand balance and what balance looks like. Because to some people, like for me, for example, I'm unmarried and no children. I do live with my partner. I run a business, I teach at a college, I'm in grad school, I have friends, I've got a bunch of different spheres that I'm working within. But for me, some people might be like, well, you have to give equal time to each thing. But the fact of the matter is I can't. There's no balance in that. So balance isn't about making sure everything has equal time and equal attention. Balance is about giving and finding the proper ratio of your time and energy to give to each thing at any given time. So it's like, my friends know I'm in grad school. My partner knows I'm in grad school. So when I can't hang out or I'm choosing to stay in to do schoolwork, like they don't get mad at me, because I need to give more time to grad school to find that balance in my life where I can hold different things. So balance is about figuring out what are all of the different spheres that you have in your life. What are all of the different areas of your life that you have? And which ones do you give too much time to and energy to? Which ones do you not give enough to? Because a lot of the time what happens is when we're feeling imbalanced is that we're giving too much of ourselves to something that doesn't actually bring us joy. We're giving way too much of ourselves to the things that actually we would rather not be giving our energy to. And so we become imbalanced in our experience in that moment. And so the idea of balance is that you find your balance. You find your proper ratios of how you show up in the world, right? Because right now I know for me, balance is giving tons of energy to grad school. Obviously not so much time to my friends because we're all in quarantine, although we definitely FaceTime a lot more and actually probably see each other more than we did before. But what I have learned about balance from this experience that we're in right now is that I was always showing up for other people because I thought there was an expectation to have me show up. I thought other people had an expectation of me to show up in a certain way. And what this experience has taught me is that that was my own expectation, and my high expectation to be able to show up and do all these different things was making me out of balance and was making me feel less than and making me feel like I wasn't doing enough. And it had nothing to do with anyone else. It was 100% my own perception of what I needed to be doing. And so what this experience of being inside and staying home has allowed me to see is where I don't have to put that much expectation. I was giving too much energy to what I thought other people thought of me or wanted me to do for them, or going to other people's events. And what I realized is that I want to be giving more of my energy and time to learning how to play the guitar and piano, and spending more time doing creative activities that really nourish me and fill me up, and still go to events and things like that. But I was out of balance in how I was executing and integrating these different things into my life. So you have to figure out, what are the things that I do that don't bring me a lot of joy, or that I'm giving too much to the point where I feel like drained from it? How can you call back some of that power and that information and that energy, and then find the balance and send it out into a different experience that will actually make you feel nourished and fulfilled and feel good about yourself? And so integration is the next piece. So first you have to reflect on. So that's step one, is reflect on where you're giving your energy out to. And one of those things, I know for me, when this whole thing first started like a month ago, like I was just wallowing in self-pity. I was giving so much energy to just being sad. But I was also grieving. So we have to honor the grieving period of it all as well. Because I was grieving the loss of a Europe trip this summer. I was grieving the loss of a priestess training. I was grieving all of these things. But there definitely came a point where I was just allowing myself to stay in that energy and not actively moving through it. I was in a pity party. And so that was taking a lot of my energy, which put me out of balance within everything else going on in my life. And so step one is to self-reflect on where are you giving energy that is draining you, that is taking you out of balance, out of equilibrium with your soul and your spirit, and see what brings you joy, what doesn't bring you joy, what do you want to call your energy back from, what would you like to give more energy to. So do that reflection, make a list. Allow yourself to not be in judgment when you're doing this. It's very easy for us as humans to immediately fall into judgment around like we're not doing enough, we're doing too much, or judging other people, right? But all judgments are self-judgments. So if you find yourself judging someone else, take a minute to sit back and understand for yourself why that judgment applies to you as well. And then the next step is going to be, after you decide where you want to put your energy, where you want things to go for your life, the next opportunity you're going to have then is to figure out how to integrate those things into your life. So whenever we bring something new in, there's a process of transition. So when I started playing guitar about a month ago, I always told myself I couldn't play music, and I had all of this resistance built up when I picked up the guitar, because I was like, oh, like, you've never been able to do this. Why do you think it's going to be different now? And the fact is, it was different now. My whole experience completely changed. And so there was this really awesome moment where I just decided, like, I'm going to move past these thoughts, past these resistance. I'm going to do something differently. And so that is exactly what I did. And it's been 4 weeks, and my boyfriend's a professional musician. He said I'm doing really well, so thanks, babe. I'm trusting you in that. But so there's this period of transition, which is going to push all your buttons, push all your boundaries, tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing it, make you feel like you're not doing it good or you're not doing it well enough. And we just have to be willing to step up and move forward and past that. We have to be willing to just step up and say, I hear you, I see you, I love you, and I'm going to do it anyway, because I know that this is what's going to be best for me in the moment and in this experience. So, unmarried but live with parent and others. Oh no, I live with my partner now. Sorry, not a parent, my boyfriend. My partner is who I live with. But that's funny. Oh my goodness, thank you. This Arby said, you are so complete and your feminine and masculine looks so perfect. Balance, thank you. But anyway, coming back to the integration period is going to ask of you to look at the resistances, to honor the resistances, to be in the resistance and choose to move past it anyway. It's never a comfortable transition, and we've all had transitions. We've all been in relationships, left relationships, been in jobs, left jobs, maybe careers, done all of these different things. And so we have this opportunity right now. So here's how these things all come together. I don't even know what I did with the triangle card. There it is. So here's how all of this comes together for this whole week and what the energy to tap into. It's a week of creation. It is a week to... Oh, yes. Okay. It is a week to use this mature Aries energy. So we are in the last week of Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the fire sign, the cardinal creator, the one who's like, go, 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 has all these ideas, wants to do. We're being asked to channel that fire energy. We have 1 week left, this last week of Aries, and we're being asked to channel this energy into creation, into doing the thing that you want to be doing. You know, and the emotions is a huge part of it. Like, don't discount your emotions, but when you're feeling the not great emotions where you're like, I just want to sit on the couch and like not do anything, We've been doing that for 4 weeks. You have to make the decision to get up and do something differently. And yes, I honor the trauma response and I honor the fragility that we're all in right now, but we have to be willing to consciously make the decision. Our emotions don't have to be the things that run us. And so Aries is coming in and saying, use this last week to create. Use this last week to channel your emotions, to channel what's happening for you on an individual level into a creation of some sort. Writing, that could be setting a sacred space and taking a sacred bath. That could be painting. It could be, just playing with your kids, like doing something with your kids that maybe you haven't done before that you've really wanted to. So channel this last week of fire energy into doing something differently. Just do something differently than you've been doing for the past 4 weeks. You are responsible for shifting your energy at this time. You are responsible for deciding to show up and create out of the experience that we're having collectively. And if you need support with that, if you need help with that, please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free. Oh, I'm frozen, but can you still hear me is the question. Let's see if you can still hear me. Apparently the video stopped working. That's fine. Anyway, it's okay. I don't know how to unfreeze it, and I don't really want to mess with it right now to try to figure that out. But we'll figure that out later. Jenny, since you just joined, will you let me know if you can at least hear me? Because that would be cool. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm assuming you can still hear me, even if the video froze. I'll figure that out again for tomorrow, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. But anyway, this is about absolutely allowing yourself to drop into that Aries creation, drop into that energy of making things happen, of shifting your energy, of taking responsibility for it. And from that, you're going to find gratitude. If you're not in a place of gratitude right now, you're definitely going to find that gratitude afterwards. And it's hard to find gratitude for some, like right now. It could be difficult. For that to be happening. And so the opportunity is to really channel the energy of Aries into creation. We're in our last week of Aries. Find the gratitude for what's happening right now. Find the gratitude for what's actually going on, and allow yourself to step into that place of being of gratitude, and allow yourself to experience the gratitude, to feel it in your body, to let it move through your body, and then from that place to be illuminated to different ways of being, to different experiences, to different knowings. And to understand kind of what's happening in that space. So, and then from there, it's how do we integrate that? How do we find the different spaces of integration that allow you to really experience these things fully and to a full experience for yourself? How do you really allow yourself to have the space to understand how to bring these things in so that they work together, these new creations, these new experiences that you want to have? So illumination, gratitude, sacral chakra energy, and integration, those are the lessons for the week. Allow yourself to move past the resistance. Allow yourself to really experience what's happening. Allow yourself to be in that space. And allow yourself to feel and see what your authentic experience is. And stay out of comparison. There's no reason for us to be comparing ourselves to one another right now. This is just an opportunity for you to step in more fully to who you want to be and what it is that you want to do and how you want to show up in the world. Yeah, that all rounds out and feels really, really good. Well, with that, since the video did freeze, and we're just about at an hour, if you're just joining, my video froze. I'm not really sure how. You watched the beginning of this video. I was super excited because I got my DSLR camera to work, but I see that it has stopped working. So that is something I will work to figure out tomorrow. I'm hoping maybe the battery died. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that'll be a lesson in and of itself. But thank you for being here. Thank you for experiencing this and doing my first live YouTube video with me. That's super awesome, super cool. I'm super grateful. And just one last time to recap the energy of the week of April 13th to April 19th. That is sacral chakra. Get into your creative energy. Use your emotions to create, to do something new, to do something different. In that experience, you're going to find gratitude. You're going to find new things to be grateful for. You're going to feel just that energy wash over you. You're going to have illumination of new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of being, new ways to show up in the world, creating the new earth, and then integration, finding the space of how do you integrate these into the life that you want, into the life that you are co-creating with the divine. And giving yourself just that space and opportunity to find your authentic and unique balance during this time, because that is something that's going to be different for all of us. So it is 12 o'clock already. So thank you all for joining me here today. I'll work on the camera thing for tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't give out halfway through. Hopefully the battery died and I can find a way to fix that. But thank you for joining me for Coffee in Quarantine, episode 15. I am back tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing Q&A, so feel free to send me any questions that you would like. Otherwise, we're going to free flow tomorrow. All right, have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye-bye.